With 4.5 coming up next update and Aventurine being part of the second half, today I'm here with the full pre-farm guide taking you over everything you do need to know in order to prepare. We're going to be going over all the general materials, so credits, books, amounts, all that kind of stuff, general enemy materials, what stagnant shadow, what trace, what echo of war, and also relic and ornament recommendations at the very end. Do note this video is just accounting for Aventurine himself and is not going to be accounting for any light guns. Stuck grinding in Honkai Starro? Need Stellar Jades fast? We've got you covered. Head over to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for save, fast, and cheap in-game top-ups. Whether it's Starro or your other favorite games, U7 delivers instantly and players love it. Check out their Trustpilot reviews, they're actually top ranked. On the Honkai Starro top-up page, you can recharge your account in seconds. When you head over to the page, all you need to do is pick the pack you do want, enter your UID and server, and buy now. If you want codes and coupons to apply, be sure to create an account for proper savings. USD is a recommended usage currency for best saving. Once everything is set, you can see the savings you're about to get. Want even extra savings? Be sure to use code PRESR at checkout for 5% off. Perfect for last minute pulls or surprising a friend. Click on the link in the description, recharge fast, save more, and keep blazing those trails. So starting it off with general stuff, purple books wise, you will need 290 in order to have enough. And then for credits, you will need roughly about 3.3 million credits in order to have enough for everything, including leveling and also trace leveling at the same time. Just like other characters, you will need a total of 8 tracks of destiny in order to have enough for all his traces. The general materials he is using are these ones right here, requiring a total of 51 green ones, 71 blue ones, and 73 purple ones. Extremely easy to get these out the way if you've been playing for a long time, since these did get introduced in Penacony. You probably have a bunch sitting here like I do. If you don't, just set it to your assignments. That's how I have so many green ones here, and I can just convert it up. And if you do need to actually farm them, let's say you're watching this in the future, go ahead and track it over here. It will show you where they are on the map. You can go there, defeat them. If you have characters like Finon, Akron, Silverwolf SP, Himiko, SP, so on and so forth, who can instantly defeat them if they're not elite, that will make your grinding even faster. And also, if you just have a bunch of these, which you probably do, you don't even need to, because this will just convert to that, so there's also that. The Stagnant Shadow Ascension material he is using is the one from the Shape of Devour, requiring a total of 65 of these to have enough to take them from level 1 to level 80. This is the easiest thing to knock out the way first. At the highest Trailblaze level, you do get 5 per run, so you just need about a day's worth and a little more worth of your stamina as runs. You don't even have to do it, you can just skip ticket it, and if you really need to actually do it, maybe you're out of skip tickets for whatever reason, then you can easily farm it. If you for some reason need the location, it is right there, but as you see, I don't have it, so there's probably no reason that you would need it. But yeah, this is the first thing I recommend getting out the way. Remember, it is Shape of Devour, so do not farm any of these ones, as there's a lot of quantum ones. You only will be using the one from Shape of Devour. And for Calyx trace materials, there's only one, being the Bud of Elation, and he is Elation, so this would be, of course, the one he is using, needing a total of 18 green ones, 69 blue ones, and 139 purple ones. Since he is second half, you do have a good amount of time till it is his release, so you can start this a little later if you really want. There also is going to be a double Calyx drop event in the 4.4 update in about a week or two, so if you want to use that event to farm for it, that's going to be even more efficient. But even then, once 4.5 does come out in a little over 3 weeks from now, you'll still have another 3 weeks because Robin SP is in the first half, so you can get that out the way and then start this. I would still recommend starting it as soon as possible, just because traces do take a while. But yeah, you do have a lot of time, plus a double event, and then all that time, as I already mentioned. If you also, for some reason, need the location for this, it is right here. So there you go. The Echo of War material he is using is brand new in the 4.4 update, so spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1. The Asat Pramod boss fight. You will require a total of 12 of these. It's already been like a little bit since the boss was added, so you could possibly already have enough. Not possibly, you definitely can. As you see, I have 15 here, and I haven't even done all runs every time, so all you have to do is do your runs on here. Highest Trailblaze level, you do get 3 per run, so you just need 4 total runs, so a full week and then 1 extra. You still have a bunch of weeks till that time, so you can very easily knock it out the way if you do need so. Now finally, when it comes to relic recommendations on him, there are 2 primary candidates, one more so over the other. Overall, right now, the best in slot is Everglorious, since it does provide 16% crit damage and 10% defense ignore to enemies when wear does elation damage, and an additional 1% stacking up to 10 times. for every 5 accumulated punchline allies gain. So you'd be able to fully stack this to get 20% defense ignore plus the crit damage from the 2-piece. Makes it extremely easy since on his teams of elation teams or the follow-up team, it's very easy to just get this out the way. And it pairs very perfectly on something like the follow-up team since you have Blade having 30% defense shred, Asheville providing 40, and then this would make Aventurine go up to 20. So it would be a total of 90 for Aventurine specifically. And then you can have the last bit be enough depending on investment of other characters and such. So there is also that. Same thing can apply to the Genius set, with the Genius set technically being better. Since 2-piece applies to skill and ultimate, it doesn't impact his actual elation damage, unfortunately, from how elation does work currently. So for the actual skill and ultimate hits, they are not big part of damage. That's mainly all the elation skill, so it's not a increase, but it's there. And you also get the same 20% defense ignore if the enemy does have quantum weakness. So it's a bit more restrictive since Aventurine for Everglorious can always stack it no matter the team or the battle, while here they need to have specifically quantum weakness. On a high invested Aventurine, you can also use Diviner instead, as it does increase his speed from the 2-piece, and he is speed scaling. 4-piece provides crit rate, and also 10% elation to everyone in the battle, which would only matter to him on the follow-up team. But on something like the elation team, as long as someone else is not already using it, you can get that effect. But even if they are using it, you can use this on Aventurine since the crit rate is very nice. But this is only for people that have higher investment, or if you're already putting him on a team that gets max defense ignore / shred. Maybe you're doing sustainless where the last person on the team does provide some form of shred / ignore. In that cases, the 4-piece of Genius or Everglorious wouldn't be beneficial, so you would be getting a benefit from the 4-piece here instead. So those are the main relic sets you would use. It's primarily going to be 4-piece Everglorious. The Genius set, while can technically outperform, is just more restrictive, and the 2-piece doesn't really matter too much. So Everglorious is going to be the best. Plus, if you also just happen to get a really good Diviner set while farming for Everglorious, you can have a fallback option. Or vice versa. If you have a team that's working out, you can instead use Everglorious. You get how it is. It's kind of a benefit that they both are in the same cavern here, so you do get that double efficiency. And then when it does come to ornaments, you just want to use Punklore. This is kind of like the only one that you want to use, with 8% elation. And reaching 80% for the first time battle will increase crit damage by 32%, and then 40% would be 20%. So you can get the lesser amount pretty quickly, and then it'll take a little bit to get to the 32% full amount once you do reach 80% elation, which also depends on your speed amount and such. If you are running him on an elation team, which on an elation team, this would stack up very quickly. But on the non-elation teams, it would depend on your speed amounts. So to get the full effect, once you do, it is his best in slot. And also kind of really the only one you can use. Unfortunately, since elation is so restrictive, damage percent buffing ones won't do much. That's why you don't want to use Salsaldo for the stuff. You don't want to use Durin, since it would just be 25% crit damage. And wouldn't inherently work out too well. Since, yeah, 25% crit damage from Durin and also 25% follow-up damage, which would be pretty much wasted. So yeah, ideally you just run at the Punk Lord. That's kind of the only option he does have, as the other ones on this game currently don't really have a benefit towards running. That is the full pre-farm guide for Aventurine Waveflair. I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell for future videos like this, along with all the types of style content. And I'll see you later. Peace out.